What would you take if you had only minutes to leave a doomed city? Lot and his family faced that choice before sunrise. There was no time to pack their possessions, protect their reputation, or wait for everyone to understand. They had been warned to run and not look back. The story began on the hills above Sodom. The three visitors who had eaten with Abraham turned toward the city. Abraham remained standing before the Lord, deeply concerned about what would happen there. He knew that his nephew Lot lived among its people. So Abraham stepped forward and pleaded for mercy. Would the judge of all the earth sweep away the righteous with the wicked? He began with 50. If 50 righteous people could be found, would the city be spared? The answer was yes. Abraham continued carefully. 45, then 40, 30, 20, and finally 10. Each time mercy was offered. If even 10 righteous people could be found, the city would not be destroyed. Abraham stopped there. He had spoken with humility, but also with remarkable persistence. The conversation revealed both the seriousness of the city's condition and the mercy that would have spared everyone for the sake of a small, righteous remnant. But that evening, two of the visitors arrived at Sodom and found Lot sitting at the city gate. Lot recognized that they were not ordinary travelers. He bowed, welcomed them, and strongly urged them to stay inside his home rather than sleep in the open square. He prepared a meal, and for a moment the house was peaceful. Then the night changed. Men from across the city surrounded the house and demanded that Lot hand over his guests so they could abuse them. Lot went outside and tried to stop them. The crowd pressed forward, threatening him as well. The visitors reached out, pulled Lot back inside, and shut the door. The attackers were struck with blindness, yet they still exhausted themselves searching for the entrance. Now the warning became urgent. The visitors told Lot to gather his family because the city was about to be judged. Lot ran to the men who were pledged to marry his daughters. He begged them to leave with him. They thought he was joking. At dawn, the messengers urged Lot again. "Take your wife and your 2 daughters and go." But Lot hesitated. Perhaps he was overwhelmed. Perhaps the life he had built inside Sodom was difficult to abandon. Scripture does not tell us every thought in his mind. It tells us something greater. The Lord was merciful. The messengers took Lot, his wife, and his daughters by the hands and led them safely beyond the city. "Run for your lives," they warned. "Do not stop on the plain. Do not look back." Lot feared he could not reach the mountains, so he asked permission to escape to the small town of Zoar. His request was granted. As the sun rose, Lot entered Zoar. Then judgment fell on Sodom and Gomorrah. Fire and burning sulfur consumed the cities of the plain. The scene was terrible, but the warning had been clear and the way of escape had been opened. During the flight, Lot's wife looked back. She became a pillar of salt. The next morning, Abraham returned to the place where he had pleaded for mercy. He looked down toward the plain and saw smoke rising like smoke from a furnace. Sodom was gone, but Lot had been brought out. Genesis says that when God destroyed the cities, he remembered Abraham and rescued Lot from the catastrophe. The teacher's lesson. This story is not an invitation to stare at destruction. It is a warning about what happens when violence, exploitation, and rejection of what is right become normal. Abraham shows us the courage of intercession. He did not celebrate another community's judgment. He stood in the gap and pleaded for lives. Lot's rescue also shows that mercy must be received, not merely admired. He hesitated, but God still led him out by the hand. When the path of rescue opened, he had to leave. The people he warned did not believe the danger was real. Their laughter did not cancel the warning. It only cost them the chance to act on it. Some warnings are acts of love. Some doors must be walked through quickly. And when God leads us away from what is destroying us, faith does not keep turning back.